Welcome back to episode 167 of the ATD Baseball Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the year again. Division previews, which means we are getting very close to the start of the regular season. And just to get everybody even more excited, everybody is starting to show up to spring training, like position players. I know pitchers and catchers have been there for basically a week already. We got baseball games this weekend. Well, I think starting Friday. So here we
Yeah.
go, man. I'm very excited to get underway here. But division previews, and of course, we're gonna start with the best division in baseball, the division that has produced your last two world champions, the National League West. But before we get into all of that, and we will have a couple non-division things to touch upon real quick. But before we get into everything, Kyle, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. This is one of the best weeks of the year, right? I mean, we have full teams reporting. We're all over Instagram and all the other social media seeing that these guys are taking batting practice, pitching bullpens. You get to see guys who are recovering from injury. You get to see guys who are new to your squad. You get to see guys who are returning to the lineup and, just one of your favorite players maybe. This is a beautiful time of the year. A couple days ago, I got to see Garrett Cole pitching a bullpen. That was sweet. I mean, I haven't seen that guy pitch in over a year now. He's recovering from TJ.
Got no
I got to
windup.
see Aaron Judge. Yes, he does have a new windup. See, that's all the cool things that you get to see. And on top of that, you get to see some of the prospects who made it to spring training and are obviously going to be showcasing a little bit, right? Trying to earn a spot on the team, trying to break camp. Um, yeah, it's a beautiful time of year, man. It's starting to get warmer out here on the East Coast. That's what we want. As I say that, and I had a 2 hour delay this morning because of the snow. But the weather overall is just getting better. We're just getting to an absolutely great time of the year. I'm absolutely excited, man, and I couldn't be more stoked. So I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. If you can't tell, I dressed for the occasion. I put on my Dodgers gold fitted hat because I'm feeling a little golden today. Of course, I get to
Absolutely.
talk about my team, well, the whole division, but specifically my team, and I'll have a lot of stuff to say about this division because that's out of the six division. This is probably the most I'm paying attention to, just because, of course, my team's in it, and I don't expect Kyle to stay up at 11 o'clock at night watching, Giants Rockies at 11 p.m. at night on the East
You never know.
Coast. Yeah, you never
You
know. You never know. I've been shocked before sometimes when I send Kyle a text the next day and he's up still. I'm like, okay, this is a little weird, but um, doing very well. You said the weather's getting warmer. I don't know where you're looking at, man. It's pouring raining here in Southern California, man. It's the rain came in this morning and it's honestly going to be here the whole week. So, if you live in the LA area like me, stay warm, stay safe. I can't believe I have to say this, but if you don't have to drive, don't drive. You'd be amazed how many people feel like, oh, you know what? Today I'm gonna go for a drive. It's pouring, raining outside. Let's just go for a drive. Why not? But um, stay safe, stay dry out there. But to answer your question, doing well. Very excited, man. Like I started to see today. I started to see all the Dodger players come back. The position players, Freddie, Mookie, Will Smith, Kyle Tucker, got me excited. Then last week I saw Yamamoto, Otani throwing bullpens. I think Yamamoto's starting to throw to hitters now because remember, guys like Shohei and Yamamoto have to be a little bit ahead of schedule just because they're going to the World Baseball Classic here in a couple of weeks. And I got to see Edwin Diaz in that number three. I honestly forgot he was wearing number three, to be honest with you. But um, I'm very excited. We're underway here. And again, gonna check out some Dodger baseball this weekend, man. Dodgers play their first game on Saturday, and of course, if they lose, I'm just gonna come on here Monday and say season's over. There's no point. Let's just wrap it up. Let's just go to next season. Let's cancel the season. But Um,
I get it, man. We're listen, we are back in that mindset, right? I just, I personally checked the MLB app and unfortunately I'm going to be at work on the Yankees first day of spring training. That kind of sucks. But Saturday and Sunday they played the Tigers and the Mets and I'm already gearing up to say to myself like, "Hey, try to just remember it's spring training, try to enjoy it, and not get absolutely pissed off when you see Aaron Judge strike out 3 times. It's all part of it. But we're already back in that mindset, so I can guarantee you're gonna hear it a lot. I mean, that's the life of a baseball fan, man. It's all part of it.
Absolutely. All right, getting into the before we get into the division previews real quick, just two quick things we just want to hit on. Number one, AJ Preller extension. That news broke this morning, and honestly, I probably could have kept that in the Padres, but I feel like it's kind of different from the team. He
Yeah,
had he did not have a contract going into this season, and there was a lot of talk. I know this hearing Padres radio and San Diego radio. Would this be a time maybe to not obviously before the season starts, but at the end of this season, hey, if the Padres have another, early exit in the postseason or they don't even make it, maybe we should cut ties with AJ Preller. And basically, a lot of Padre fans said no, just for the simple fact it's like AJ Preller, the whole time he's been president of baseball operations for the Padres, he has a well oiled machine. I know it hasn't exactly, you know, equal to winning like championships, but he's always going for it. He's always making these crazy trades, to bring in a Mason Miller, to bring in a Juan Soto, guys like that. And somehow, even when he dumps all these prospects, he continues to kind of replenish and restack the farm system to make a huge trade like in a year or so. So basically, the point everybody was saying, well, if you get rid of AJ Preller, who's gonna take over and who's kind of like the next person's gonna have to reinvent the wheel a little bit. So
yeah,
it made no sense to get rid of him. I think this was the first time this past season. This was the first time in a while where the Padres had made the postseason back-to-back years. So, um, and listen, man, he's been one of the only few executives in this sport that has been able to kind of go toe to toe with the Dodgers a little bit. With all the money, the big spending that the Dodgers have done over the last couple years, the Padres and specifically AJ Preller has been unfazed. Like, okay, I'm gonna spend a little bit of my money too. And oh yeah, that farm system that I have, I'm just gonna bleed right through it, and bring in a Mason Miller and bring in a Ramon Laureano, guys like that. So, to me, it's a well earned extension for AJ Preller. To me, it would have made no sense if they just would have got rid of him at the end of this season. So, and there's another thing too, and I think most people are either not aware of it or have kind of forgotten about it. The Padres are in the middle of an ownership change right now. So they're on the verge of potentially the Preller family. I mean, the Seidler family is on the verge of selling the team. I don't know to who, I don't know for what price, but you would have to think that the next person that comes to San Diego and buys the team, I would like to think they're going to be invested in making the team better. And if you can, if you can add a big owner spender for this Padres club with the great mind of AJ Preller, could get a little scary. So, congratulations to AJ Preller. You're not going to see me. Hopefully you enjoyed these last couple minutes here because you're not going to hear me praise the Padres for a lot of times this season. But it was a smart move, and to me, AJ Preller was one of these guys. If they would have just let him go, he would have had a job in 5 minutes. He would have had a
yeah.
job in 5 minutes, either with one of these other teams or even teams like the Yankees who make the postseason every year. You don't think they would have got rid of? They would have wanted to try to get rid of Brian Cashman maybe if they knew a guy like AJ Preller was available. But again, just throwing it out there. So good on the Padres and good on AJ Preller getting his extension before the season starts. So there's not that pressure going into a final year with no contract.
Yeah, absolutely. I personally love this move. I think AJ Preller gets a lot of shit, right? And it's kind of undeserved. He's a guy who he reminds me a lot of like of a fan's GM, right? Like He's a guy who is not afraid to go out and do the crazy ass trades that we like to do on MLB The Show. I mean, how many times have you traded and made like, you just go through like a franchise mode where you just want to stack your team and see how many wins you can get. And AJ Preller kind of reminds me of a GM like that, where he's not afraid to spend, he's not afraid to get rid of his farm system, and he has a great baseball mind. Do I think he's done a few bonehead moves? Yeah, but what GM hasn't in the past couple of years?
Andrew Friedman?
Uh,
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
There's no, I mean it's just one of those things where the Padres are right now, it wouldn't have made sense to bring in a new guy. Just extend the guy who's not afraid to make those kind of trades and signings and put your team in a good position to win, because whether we like the Padres or not, the Padres are always one of those teams where at the beginning of the season you could totally see them making it, as long as the World Series. Truly, in the last few years, the Padres have been a World Series pick for many people. Um, they just kind of, trip over their own feet. But when it
Damn
comes down
right they
to
do.
it, when it comes down to it, AJ Preller puts the Padres in a position to win almost every year. So that in itself has given him a well deserved extension. So good for him, good for the Padres, and I'm kind of excited to see what happens next. And you kind of hit the nail on the head. If you get an ownership group in there who is willing to spend even more money and go absolutely balls to the wall, AJ Preller is a guy who you want manning that ship. And personally, I would love him. You know, I would love to have a GM like that on my favorite team. That's where it's like, that you're gonna be in contention for the big free agents every year. You're gonna be in contention for the big trade acquisitions at the deadline. So overall, AJ Preller has a really good track record, and I think it shows. So good for the Padres and good for AJ Preller.
There's one person, and then we'll get off of this. There's one person out there. He's had his rumor. There's been rumors about him maybe potentially wanting to buy the Padres. I don't think it's gonna happen just because I haven't really heard any steam. But he has one of the teams in my city, and I'm very afraid if he buys the Padres, he's gonna want to completely spend crazy. Steve Ballmer, the owner of the Clippers. There's been
Hmm.
a couple rumors floating around there that hey, he could be interested in buying the San Diego Padres, and I know Kyle, you don't live out here, so you kind of really don't know, but
Hmm.
Steve Ballmer has done a lot for the Clippers, like build them a whole new arena, spend a lot of money into the facility and to the team. Again, a lot like the Padres, so maybe it'll go on hand in hand. It hasn't equal to winning championships, but the Clippers have always been in the conversation. They're always in the headlines, bringing in stars, not being afraid to spend. And the other part too, Steve Ballmer, and I hope this is what Mark Walter, and I don't want to get too far deep in this because this is not an NBA podcast, but what Steve Ballmer does with bringing in people who are smart basketball minds to help, develop players and help scout players. I hope that's what Mark Walter and the Guggenheim Group do with the Lakers now. But that'd be scary. That'd be scary because Steve Ballmer is one of those owners who he's not like an Artie Moreno that's just gonna be like, no, I want all the decisions to come through me. Like he's one of those guys that's, hey, bring me, here's the check, bring me in smart people to help run this and turn this into something, a winning, success. And gotta be honest with you, and of course the thing that I'm most afraid of, Steve Ballmer has the money to like completely um outspend everybody. And again, who knows, maybe by the time this sale goes through it'll be the lockout and maybe some things will have changed with the CBA, but that's the one person I don't want the Padres selling the team to, Steve Ballmer, but we shall see. And the other topic before we jump into the division real quick, how about Nick Castellanos getting released from the Philadelphia Phillies and finding a new home quickly with the San Diego Padres? But once all of this happened, there was a note that Nick Castellanos posted on his Instagram, um, basically saying that there was an incident in Miami in the summer that he got benched, and it basically led to kind of like, it almost felt like his end of his tenure at the Phillies. And kind of some of the stories we've heard from Philly media and just guys in the clubhouse kind of seems like Nick Castellanos kind of, everybody kind of grew tired of him a little bit. But
Hmm.
he's no longer with the Phillies, and he is now a member of the San Diego Padres. And it seems like Nick Castellanos is kind of, just from the little quotes that I've heard, kind of maybe was a little bit too over his head. And but he's gonna get a fresh start in San Diego. He's out of the big market in Philly, where, I mean, listen, it was not pretty at the end too with Philly fans. I know Nick Castellanos didn't exactly have a good season last year, but he gets a fresh start in San Diego, and again, he's gonna be a pain in the ass for this Dodger team. I can tell it already, man. Like, you don't think he's gonna fall in line with like Machado and Tatis, like kind of stirring up the pot a little bit. Nick Castellanos can hold his own, and I'm
Oh
very
yeah.
afraid of that coming into my division. But um, his Philly tender comes to an end. Got nothing for him, which that was kind of a bad move on Dave Dombrowski, because he said at the end of the year press conference that we're gonna trade him.
Hmm.
Nobody was interested. It's like, why would you show your hand, and why would you say you're gonna trade him when it's like, all right, well, if you dump him, I could just sign him for like a league minimum or a vet minimum. So
Yeah.
good for the Padres. Sucks it didn't work out. I mean, he had his moments in Philly, but
Hmm.
didn't end in a championship, and kind of coming off of came to a sour end, I think, in Philly with the benching and everything. But that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, it's this has been kind of brewing for a while. It was just a matter of when, not if. Uh, yeah, but no, I mean Dave Dombrowski kind of. I mean, he did show his hand. There was reports that. Um, I
Try to
mean, I
trade
know
him
the
for the
Yankees.
last 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. And I know this past time the Yankees were interested, just from, being in the New York media and really paying attention to that. But according to the reports, the asking price was too high. So it's like, well, if you're trying to get rid of him and maybe trying to get something in return and you already showed your hand, it's kind of interesting, that the price was that high. But overall, I mean, yeah, he finds a new home in San Diego, and honestly, like the way that Nick Castellanos plays the game, he is going to fall in line with the rest of those guys in San Diego. It is a really good fit for him, and I think it's a good fresh start. It's just, yeah, I mean, there's not too many like feelings that I have towards this because we saw it coming, right? We knew that Nick Castellanos was not going to be playing baseball in Philadelphia in 2026. It was a matter of where, right? And he latched on really quick. I mean, he was released, and then like 2 days later, he was signed with the Padres. So it was just a matter of like what team was he going to go to and what was the fit going to be like. And I think honestly, like it's a good fit, right? I still think Nick Castellanos has some good baseball left in the tank. I don't think, you know I mean, obviously being in the Philly market, you're gonna get the shit end of the stick. It's the same when you play in New York or Los Angeles. They hold you to a high standard, and you better show up. So overall, I think his game was out of whack a little bit. Maybe it was he was distracted. There was other things going on. But now that he has a fresh start, I still think he has a lot left to prove and a lot left in the tank. And I think San Diego is a good place for him to kind of show that. So he can kind of just ease into it. He's already reported at spring training out in Arizona. So yeah, it's a good deal, man. I I think it's a good place for Nick Castellanos.
All right, we've we've pushed this off long enough. Let's now get into this for the next 6 weeks, which will lead us to the week of opening day. Um,
Hmm.
we're gonna give you hot takes, predictions, everything. So this is these last 6 weeks of the off season. This is where we just throw it on the wall and see if it sticks. But um, we're gonna begin with the National League West preview. So let's not waste any more time and jump right into it. We will start with the Colorado Rockies. We will make our way up to the gold standard. You see what I did there? We'll get our way back up there. But first, let's get these other teams out of the way first. We do all the teams. We're not just gonna be like, okay, who cares about the Rockies, Giants? Let's just go to the Dodgers. Nope, we're not gonna do that. Let's begin with the Colorado Rockies. So the Colorado Rockies, they actually made some moves during this off season. Notable acquisitions: Willie Castro 2-year deal, Michael Lorenzen 1-year deal, Jose Quintana 1-year deal reportedly, Jake McCarthy trade with the D-backs, um, Edward Julian trade with the Twins, and so that's some of their notable transactions. Their record last year was 43 and 119, and their over under in Vegas is set at 53 and a half wins. And by the way, all of the over under totals you will hear these next 6 weeks will be from DraftKings. So when we post these during the week, I don't want to hear any of this. Hey, that's not what it says on FanDuel or any of these other stuff. No, we're doing DraftKings. So just so we're all on the same page here. And little wrinkle going with the over unders this year. And Kyle doesn't know this, but I'm gonna tell him now.
Oh, here we go.
Some of these over unders I will play on Prize Picks. I'm gonna play some of them. So I'm gonna pick like maybe 5 that I like, and I will put real currency on them and see if I get them right.
There we go.
So
Uh,
yeah, so Rockies, 53 and a half wins.
Man, first, sorry. Obviously, I was not 100% ready. Okay, cool. Now we are. So, Rockies had a good offseason, man.
Yeah, they
I
didn't
have
do
mentioned
nothing.
this.
They did stuff.
Yeah, this was a sneaky good offseason, in my opinion. Um, 43 wins last year. I think they're going to be better than that. I do. I think Jake McCarthy is going to be a huge contributor. I was a big fan of this move when we talked about it when it happened. I think obviously it's not going to propel them to where they need to be, but they're chipping away, right? And that's what this offseason gave me. It really did. Chris Bryant is going to start the season injured yet again. So I think you lose a key contributor there. Also, too, how much left does he have in the tank? There's a big question mark around him because we haven't seen him play baseball in almost 2 years now. So overall, I think this team is definitely better than what it was. However, that over under, man, that's tough for me. 53 and a half. I still have to go under here, but I do want to preface and say this team is going to be better than what they were last year. I want that to be known. Hot take or not, I don't know. But to me, I love what they did this offseason for the Rockies standard. So, yes, I'm taking the under on the 53 and a half, but are they going to be closer than last year? Absolutely, without question, in my opinion. So, for me, I'm still taking the under, but again, I want you to know that I still think they had a good offseason.
Yeah, the lineup they're gonna roll out in 2025. Their projected lineup on Fangraphs: Ezekiel Tovar, Mickey Moniak, Hunter Goodman, Jordan Beck, Troy Johnson, Brendan Doyle, Willie Castro, Jake McCarthy, Edward Julian. And the rotation looks like Kyle Freeland, Michael Lorenzen, Jose Quintana, if you remember, Chase Dollander, and yeah, so that's
It's not bad,
it's
man.
not bad. It really
It's
isn't. They also signed I think it was a player out of Japan too. I'm looking at it right now and I can't pronounce his name. So to
yeah.
Toyoki Sugano. See, I know.
Oh,
See, yeah. So, um, 53 and a half. That's you would
you
think
think it's
you think it's an over. I'm gonna go over.
okay?
I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna say 55 wins.
Okay, I like that.
55 wins, and I just get it.
So it seems like both of us are in agreement that the Rockies had an okay offseason.
Yeah, which is fine.
Hey, I still think that's pretty good for the Rockies, man. I do.
Absolutely. So there we go. Uh, let me see here. No, let's. Hi, there's two teams I want to do at this. But
Where are we going? Are we going Arizona or are we going San Francisco?
let me see real quick. Sorry, I don't mean to hold everybody off here. Um, I'm just looking at both of these real quick. No, let's do Arizona. Let's do Arizona. Let's do Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona. So they were very very active in
Hmm.
the off season, which had a slow start for them, but they're bringing in some of the old heads here. Of course, they made the big trade for Nolan Arenado. They re-signed Zach Gallen last week. They re-signed Merrill Kelly. They signed Michael Sirota. They gave Carlos Santana a 1-year deal, which I did not even. I completely forgot about that. And when I was
Yeah.
filling out the chart, he is currently listed as their first baseman going to this year. I was like, wow, okay. They re-signed James McCann. They brought back Paul Sewald, and some of their notable subtractions from this team. Of course, I just mentioned Jake McCarthy trade with the Rockies. Their over under is set 79.5 wins. And before you answer that, let me give you the projected lineup going into
That's what I was
2025.
gonna ask for. Yeah.
So the lineup that they're expected to roll out in 2026: Gerardo Perdomo, Ketel Marte, Corbin Carroll, Gabriel Moreno, Pavin Smith, Nolan Arenado, Carlos Santana, Alec Tomas, and Jorge Barbosa. And um, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is on the injured list right now. That's why you didn't hear him in this lineup. 79.5 wins for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
I definitely think they underperformed last year.
I agree. Now, they were still
Arizona,
in it going into the final week of the season,
yeah,
even with all that.
correct. Arizona has been one of those teams in the last few years that, they obviously made it to the dance a few years back. Man, this team has so many like ups and downs in my opinion that it's very hard to pin exactly where they're going to end. I mean, that's how it is for every baseball team, but when it comes down to it, 79 and a half, I have to slap the over on this. I think I truly do think Arizona is going to be much better. I think they have a solid rotation. Ketel Marte, he's still here, right? He's an underrated star of this game that does not get. He reminds me so much of a J Ram. He just doesn't get his flowers enough, in my opinion. And Corbin Carroll and Perdomo and just the rest of this lineup, I think is better than 79 and a half. So this is not wild by any means, in my opinion. I think it could go either way, depending on if they're underwhelming again. But if they play to the standard that the Arizona Diamondbacks can, it's going to be an over. So for me, I'm taking the over on this team.
You know, Vegas is so good at this.
Oh yeah, oh
79
yeah.
and a half total wins. You want to know what their 2025 record was?
Go ahead.
80 and 82.
Yep. Listen, and see, that makes me even think more of the over here because listen, if the underwhelming season they had last year, they obviously finished it with 80 wins last year and they were very wishy-washy. I have to take the over. And it's something that I'm talking myself into for sure, but I feel confident about this. So definitely the over for this team. But yes, Vegas is extremely good at these numbers.
And remember, they lost Corbin Burns last year, too.
Hmm.
Obviously, don't expect them to see him at the start of the season. Maybe towards the end of the summer. I think that's
Hmm.
that's kind of when they're projecting. But their rotation, too: Merrill Kelly, Zach Gallen, Ryan Nelson, Eduardo Rodriguez, Brandon Fott, Michael Soroa. They have 6 starters that they can
That's
go
solid.
to.
That's a solid rotation.
I think I've taken the over on the Diamondbacks the last couple years. I'm doing the same
Mm.
thing here. I think, honestly, see, I said what I'm about to say. Like, damn, this number feels too low. But then,
It does.
but then
Yeah.
they finished 80 and 82 last year, basically a 500 team. Um,
Yep.
yeah, I'm gonna go over on this. And to be honest with you, this might be one of the five I play on Prize Fix.
Okay. I like
I
that.
feel that confident about it. Do I dare? Yeah. So we're both taking the over on this. Dare I say it's kind of a low number, but again, they they
Yeah.
won 80 games last year. So,
Hmm.
but we shall see. Okay, let's do the Dodgers. No, I'm just kidding. Let's do the San Francisco Giants. Let's do the Giants because I don't know. I feel a little different about this team. But some of their
Okay.
notable acquisitions, they signed Harrison Bader, 2-year deal. Luis Ariz to a 1-year deal. Andrew Monto, 1-year deal. Adrian Hauser, 2-year deal. And some of the guys, and they lost obviously Justin Verlander to the Tigers, and they still have a couple free agents out there: Wilmer Flores, Joey Lucchesi, Tom Murphy, Dominic Smith, and their over under is set. Damn it, 80.5 wins. That is their over under. And again, let me give you the lineup going to this year: Luis Ariz, Rafael Devers, Willie Adames, Matt Chapman, Jun Ho Lee, Heliot Ramos, Harrison Bader, Bryce Eldridge, Patrick Bailey. And the rotation: Logan Webb, Robbie Ray, Tyler Mantle, Adrian Hauser, Landon Rope.
Yep. um, this is an easy one for me, man.
I agree.
It really This is an easy one. I'm taking the over. I like this team a lot. I was very vocal about that a few weeks ago, especially when they signed Harrison Bader. Um, I think overall, this team just, dude, they have guys in that lineup. That lineup truly does mean something to me. The rotation in the bullpen, that's a conversation for another time. I still think the rotation it's solid. I might not be as I guess high on it as the lineup or anything else that this Giants team does have, but I'm definitely taking the over on this. I think this team is good, man. I truly do. I think if you can get Wilmer Flores back in that lineup, because I he's another one. He's not up there with the J Rams or the Cattell Martes, but I do think Wilmer Flores brings a lot to this Giants team. I think overall he's such a solid player, man. Truly. So overall, I like this team, man. I really do. You give Rafael Devers a full season to finally like maybe find his groove, figure out what's going on right now because obviously like Boston was all he knew, and he came over and it was he's asked to play a different position. So I think overall, just give him a full spring training in a Giants uniform and a full season, and I think he's going to be much better than what he was last year. You still have Matt Chapman. You still have this team like just 1 through 9, you have solid players all over the place, and I like that a lot, man. I really do. I think Heliot Ramos is another one who's extremely underrated. Jung Ho Lee, he showed flashes of being a star in this league. Yeah, if this Giants team puts it together, I think they could potentially be a thorn to that second place team that we're going to talk about in a little bit. So for me, this one's an easy over, man.
Yeah, this is an easy over for me. And remember, the Giants have a new manager at the helm,
Yes.
Torey Levito. They brought him in from obviously the University of Tennessee.
Yep.
Here's my hot take for you.
Ooh, okay.
I think the Giants are a postseason team in 2026.
Ooh, I like it.
And I'll go a step further for you.
Okay.
I think Tony DeVito, I hope I'm saying his real name right. Tony,
I think it's Vitello.
yeah, Okay, thank you. Tony
Yeah.
Vitello. Here's my other hot take. Tony Vitello
Manager of the year.
NL Manager of the Year in
Hey.
2026.
All right, I like this.
I think I think some people were not expecting him to leave Tennessee just because obviously he kind of built like a wagon there, but
Yeah.
getting a young, fresh voice in there, I know, sometimes that could be a little scary, but
Mm.
I think he's gonna win NL Manager of the Year, and I think he's gonna lead this Giants team into a postseason spot in 2026. As painfully as that as painfully as that, I hate to admit it, but
I was just gonna say, man, this is a lot of positivity going the Giants' way.
yeah, I don't like this. I'm not feeling this. I'm really not feeling this. But I listen. I think the Giants were a postseason team when before and after they made the Devers trade, and then they fell
Yeah.
off a cliff.
Yep.
So I think if they could just get a bullpen piece, a big time bullpen arm in there,
Hmm.
I think they can make. I think they're a postseason team this year. I really do. I think they'll get one of those 3 wild card spots.
I like it. I like it a lot.
So, you okay? And if we're not, and if I didn't make myself clear, I am taking the
Hmm.
over on this. I am taking the
Yeah.
over. I don't just to make sure we're all the same. And again, Vegas is right on it again, man. 80.5 wins. They finished last year 81 and 81.
This is one of those picks that I would feel confident putting on Prize Picks personally.
Okay. Again, I have 6 weeks to think about it, so we'll see. But I don't want to put all too many teams on the NL West because hey,
It,
I,
yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
I don't want to have to root for the Giants and Dodge and Diamondbacks, especially when they're playing my team.
No, I get that, man. I'm very interested to see what these standings look like. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, that was one of the comments I wanted to make. Like, I'm very interested to see where you and I are because I feel like we could be on the same page here, but we couldn't. Uh, I think this next one's really going to determine that for me. But yeah.
Let's talk about it. The San Diego Padres. What did those bums down in San Diego do last season? Nothing. No, I'm just kidding. Uh, they were active as well. Re-signed Michael King, 3-year deal. Hae Sung Mung, 4-year deal. Signed him out of Korea. Gave Miguel Andujar a 1-year deal. Re-signed Kyle Hart. Gave Tristan McKenzie a minor league deal. Signed Nick Castellanos to a 1-year deal. Ty France, that was reported yesterday, I believe, to a minor league contract. Herman
Hmm.
Marquez 1-year deal. And they're notable subtractions. And there's actually there's not much, but they're pretty huge. Dylan Cease, of course, went to Toronto. Luis Ariz, of course, went to the Giants. Robert Suarez went to the Braves, and Ryan O'Hearn signed with the Pirates. Their lineup that they're expected to roll out in 2026: Fernando Tatis Jr., Jackson Merrill, Manny Machado, Ramon Laureano, Gavin Sheets, Xander Bogaerts, Jake Cronenworth, Miguel Andujar, and Freddie Fermin. And their bench: Luis uh, Campusano, Nick Castellanos, Haesam Ming, Bryce Johnson, and their rotation: Michael King, Nick Pavetta, Joe Musgrove, Randy Vasquez, and Herman Marquez. And their over under is set 85.5.
This is a fantastic number for Vegas. Fantastic. This might be one of my hardest ones in, while choosing over and under in all of the division previews we do. Um, I'm gonna say it might be a bit of a hot take, but for me, I'm taking the under on this Padres team.
Ooh, okay.
I'm taking the under. I think they just miss it, man. I
They
really
won
do.
90
I
games
think
last season, by the way. 90
yes.
and 72.
Yes, which 85 and a half might seem like a good number, but when you read those subtractions to me, and obviously, like, just with all the things that we do and kind of like knowing how big of an impact those guys can make,
And we still don't know
that's,
about you, Darvish, either. Is
yeah,
he
dude,
retiring? Is he coming back? What's happening?
exactly. And for me personally, like those subtractions, Those are big, man. Robert Suarez in the back of the in the back end of that bullpen. Luis Ariz, yeah, he might be tailing off, but dude, he's still a 300 hitter basically every single year. I just, yeah, man, dude, the subtraction. Ryan O'Hearn, he was a big bopper for them. Obviously a trade acquisition, but yeah, man. I'm taking the over. I'm sorry, the under on this Padres team. This is one where it's extremely hard for me. I just mentioned that a minute ago. For me, this is tough. This is a very tough one to pick. But I Xander Bogarts, what's going on, man, dude? If you just played like you did in Boston, this would be an over for me. I this is tough, and I will admit when I'm wrong if the Padres win over 85.5. I'm not feeling confident about this. I feel that they just missed this number, so I'm going under on the Padres.
Their starting pitching is going to be the reason why they missed the postseason this year. I'm not outside of Michael King.
Hmm.
Joe Musgrove just coming back from injury. Nick Pivetta, Randy Vasquez, Ramon Marquez. Not that in love with the starting pitching outside
No,
of Michael King. Now, the back end of their bullpen is still fine. Of course, Mason Miller, Adrian Morhone, Jeremiah Estrada. They still have guys in the back of that bullpen. And they're going to
hmm,
hit. That lineup is still good. They're going to hit. But their starting pitching is what concerns me the most about this team going into this year.
yep.
I think I'm going to take the under as well.
Ooh, okay,
I think, but again,
okay.
they don't miss it by much.
I'm with
84,
you.
83. But
Yep.
again, I can also see where maybe their starters overperform
Hmm.
and their offense continues to hit like they always have. And
Absolutely.
I can see a world again where they go for it at the deadline again.
Yes.
Where AJ Preller makes a big swing for a big pitcher with another bat and they make a run at the postseason again. But I don't want to go so far and say they'll miss the postseason,
Hmm.
but
There's a lot that can happen in
there's
between then
right, exactly.
and then. Yeah.
I'm taking the under, but this one
I
I'm not exactly thrilled about it.
dude, I totally get it. I'm the exact same way.
Yeah, so I'll take the under on this. And I think I've taken the over on all the other teams too. I think I took the over on the Giants, I took the
Correct.
over on the Diamondbacks, and I even took the over on the Rockies. So,
Yep.
uh this is my first under. I'm going to take the under on the Padres. Okay.
It's just
Well, we've waited long enough. Let's not uh let's not delay it any longer. But before I say the team I'm about to mention next, of course,
oh
let me
boy.
give you a proper introduction and let me update some of the things that they have done in the last couple seasons. So listen up. Celebrating their 68th season in Los Angeles, California, 64th season at Dodger Stadium. This is the franchise with 23 National League Western Division titles, 26 National League pennants, and 9 World Series championships.
That's it?
One of okay, okay, okay. I knew that was coming too. I knew that was coming.
Oh man, dude,
I
you
knew
should
that
have.
was coming. I knew that was coming.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Nine, nine World Series championships. One of the most iconic brands, not just in baseball, but in all of sports. And one of the most successful franchises of the 21st century. The defending back to back world champion, Los Angeles Dodgers. How about it? How about it, baby? What did the Dodgers do last season? You already know what they did. became the first repeat champion of this century, won their ninth championship. Uh, Again, Dodgers very active in free agency. Signed Kyle Tucker, signed Edwin Diaz, re-signed Miguel Rojas, re-signed Kike Hernandez, and re-signed Evan Phillips, super reliever. Welcome back, my friend. I'm so happy he's back on this team. Notable subtractions: they lost Kirby Yates to the Angels, which okay, yay, no problem. And then they traded Anthony Bonda. Well, first they DFA'd him, and then they traded him to the Twins. So I'm not going to dump on Bonda. Thank you for your services. Thank you for the last two championships, being part of our bullpen. Um, and there's still three free agents that are out there, but I don't think they're coming to the Dodgers anytime soon. Michael Conforto, Tony Gonsolin, and Michael Kopech. I would like the Dodgers to re-sign Michael Kopech just for 1 year. Just you never know, but I don't think they're going to do that. Here's the lineup that the Dodgers are going to roll out in 2026. Oh, and it's fantastic. Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Kyle Tucker, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, Max Muncy, Teoscar Hernandez, Andy Pages, and it says Haesung Kim. It says Haesung Kim, number one, because I want him to get more playing time this year. He deserves it. But Tommy Edman is going to start on the injured list this year after getting surgery on his ankle, so he won't be ready. He won't be ready to go. Their bench: Dalton Rushing, Alex Freeland, Miguel Rojas, Alex Call. Again, Kike is not going to be ready to go opening day either, so he'll start on the injured list. And your rotation: oh baby, you got the World Series MVP Yoshinobu Yamamoto. You got Blake Snell. You got Tyler Glasnow, Shohei Ohtani, Emmett Sheehan, and Roki Sasaki. Welcome back to the rotation, my friend. And the bullpen: Edwin Diaz, Tanner Scott, Alex Vesia, Blake Trine, and Jack Dreyer. World Series hero Will Klein, Eduardo Henriquez, and Ben Casparius. And like I said, the Dodgers are still going to have reinforcements coming because Tommy Edman, Kike Hernandez will start on the injured list. Brusdar Graterol, Evan Phillips, and Brock Stewart will be on the injured list as well for the Dodgers to begin this season. Their over-under is set at 102 wins.
Well, I'll make this short and sweet, man. I don't have to talk on the Dodgers. We all know what they are. We obviously know that they are a juggernaut. They're a generational team. They're a team that is going to be at the at the end of, at least in the conversation at the end, every single year for at least probably in the next 10 years. This team has done an amazing job at putting a generational talent lineup, not just a player, but a lineup and rotation on the field every single year for, God, a couple years now, and it showed. Um, with that being said, 102 wins. I'm taking the under. It means nothing against the Dodgers, but I'm taking the under due to the fact that they truly just don't give a fuck about the regular season. They know that they can play good enough to get to the postseason. We talk about it every year. This is a team that like this under absolutely means nothing to me. This means little to absolutely nothing just due to the fact that 102, dude, that's hard for any team. Regardless if you're the Dodgers, the Dodgers really the only good comparison, but to consistently win over 100 games a year, last year they won 93. Dude, like, that's what I'm saying. To me, like, and they still won the World Series. They were still there at the end. To me, I'm taking the under strictly because 102 wins is hard for any team, and I don't think that the Dodgers truly. I think they're going to have this National League West wrapped up in, I don't know, September some point. They'll probably kind of give rest to their main players, and they don't give a fuck if they lose because they already punched their ticket. So to me, I'm just taking the under strictly because it's 102 wins is hard to get no matter who you are.
Stole my thunder. I'm taking the under two. I'm taking the under two. Listen, the Dodgers, there's two reasons why. You just mentioned the first one. They don't care about the regular season. They just want to have their ducks in a row and
Yeah,
have their people in place ready for a deep October run. And you saw that especially last year. Guys are in
exactly.
and out of the rotation, in and out of the lineup all season. But when it came down to getting right Everybody was available and fresh for the postseason. Two things I think why they won't, and another reason why I think they won't finish um, over 100 wins, or at least over the number. I'm a little concerned they're going to get off to a slow start this year, just because of how deep they had to push everybody to win the last championship.
Hmm.
Of course, Yamamoto had to go deep. Everybody, all the starting pitchers, but wouldn't shock me. Wouldn't shock me if the Dodgers get off to a little bit of a slow start. I'm not saying under 500 or anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if after 10 games or after like 12 games they're six. They're after 10 games they're like 6-4 or 5-5,
Yeah.
something like that. Wouldn't shock me. So, but again, they don't care about the regular season. And the other part here of why I'm taking the under on this, the last two times the Dodgers have won a championship, they did not win over 100 games.
No.
They won 98 games in 24 and they won 93 in 25.
Hmm.
I believe in little voodoo stuff like that. I'm afraid
Hmm.
if the Dodgers blow past the number and win 100 games, they're going to fall apart in the division series again. So that's the reason why I'm taking um, the under on this. But
Understandable.
all right, so now here's the part where I can just throw shit against the wall. Shohei Ohtani, top 3 finish, NL Cy Young this year.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
he's really. They've taught Dave Roberts has talked a lot about it early in spring training, and you kind of see Shohei determined. I think he wants a Cy Young. I really do, or at least be in the conversation for one. And
Yeah.
of course, when I say top 3, that means he's gonna have to make a lot of starts. This is barring injury, anything like that. But this is really the first time since he's been a Dodger that he has had a normal spring training. He's back on his normal, two-way type of program. He's no longer having restrictions. The last couple years, he was only hitting. He was throwing, but he wasn't like doing anything crazy. Now he's back to his full two-way thing, and I really think you're gonna see that um, resonate during the season. And the also thing I like about it, he's not going to pitch at the WBC. I know everybody wants to see the two-way player Shohei, pitch in the championship game or pitch in the World Baseball Classic and then hit. But I like that he's only going to be pitch. He's only going to be hitting at the World Baseball Classic this year, and I think it's going to resonate um, this season. And I think he's going to finish top 3 Cy Young in 2025. And
I-
I want to pat myself on the back a little bit here before I kind of continue. Last year, I did say top 3 finish for Yoshinobu Yamamoto in NL Cy Young, and he did finish top 3. Now, a lot of you are saying, well, yeah, no shit, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. But wasn't easy. Wasn't always easy. Yamamoto was one of those players that did not get a ton of run support last season, but his record is what it was, but it doesn't reflect how good he was in 2025. And I think Shohei, like I said, top 3 finish and NL Cy Young. So I'm feeling good about that one. Feeling good about that one. As long as he can just stay healthy. As long as he can stay healthy. Um,
I like that.
just looking around here. Trying to think what else I can say. I don't think the Dodgers are going to make a big trade at the deadline. I'll say that. I hope not.
That makes sense.
I really
Yeah.
hope not. I hope this Dodger regime does not have to go out for a big fish again.
You would
Um,
you would hope not, man.
I would hope not, just because that means that everybody's playing well, everybody's healthy. That's my main thing, man. Just stay healthy. You're gonna hear that a lot again in 2026. Just stay healthy, and just get ready for the October run at the end of this season. But I'm trying to look around at what else I could say here. Some of these other pitchers I want to stay away from just because, Blake Snell is never good in the first half of the season. There's probably
Hmm.
going to be a point during the year where Tyler Glasnow is going to take like a 2 week IL stint just to make sure he's okay. So, which is fine. We have plenty of depth and plenty of guys to fulfill um, that role. But okay, I'll say this.
Hmm.
I know a lot of people are shit talking this guy just because he came to my team. 30-30 season for Kyle Tucker again, baby. Give it to me. Give me a 30-30 season, Kyle Tucker. 30 bombs and 30 stolen bases for Kyle Tucker this year. I'm really feeling it. I think he hears all the chatter, he hears all the noise. He listen, the thing that I love about this, he's gonna come here, he doesn't have to be the hero. Just do your job. Just do your job and make sure you get the big boys, back drive in the guys in front of you. When Shohei's on base, drive him in. When Mookie's on base, drive him in. It's not gonna have to do everything. When, of course, the offense was really good for the Cubs last year, but it was all centered around Kyle Tucker. Really, I know he missed a lot of time last year, but I think he's gonna stay healthy this year. I'm feeling it, man. Give me a 30-30 season for Kyle Tucker this year, baby. I'm feeling it. I'm really feeling it. So, yeah, there you go. Kyle, unless you got anything. Any hot takes? Anything? No? Dodgers? No? Nothing?
Uh, man, hot take was I don't think so, but what I can give you, I can give you my
Oh, I
MVP
got another one.
and the
I
Cy
got
Young
one
in the
more.
division.
One more. I got one more. Sorry. Mookie Betts, Gold Glove winner, shortstop, 2026. He was very good. He was very good um, in last season. Got off to the slow start because of he had a stomach bug issue, which lost him to lose a bunch of weight, and it seemed like he never recovered from that. He only finished with 20 home runs, 82 RBIs. Batted 250. Oh, let me expand on that. Mookie will hit over Mookie will hit over 275 the whole season, and he'll win Gold Glove, his first Gold Glove at shortstop.
Okay, I like that. Um, I got one. The Giants will finish within. This is a really
Ooh, I
hot
like
take.
this. I like this.
The Giants will finish within 5 games back of the Dodgers.
Ooh, okay, I like that. I
I
really
think
like that.
I think that's where I'm going. You have I can sit here and give you hot takes about the Dodgers all episode, but I kind of want to give love to the rest of the division. I think I mean, well, just gonna say the Giants, but I think I'm really high on this Giants team this year, man. I really am. I made that known, and it was so funny because they were one of my losers when we made that post. um, that we're now absolutely getting shit for. But yeah, I'm gonna say the Giants finish within 5 games of the Dodgers at the end of the year.
It's not impossible. Hey, the Padres only finished 3 behind them uh,
Yep, I
last
saw
season.
that in the standings. Yeah.
Okay, well, hang on. One more, then we'll give our final predictions
Okay.
and um, standings and everything. New team. He's got a new home. I think he's gonna turn back the clock a little bit. I think Nolan Arenado wins another Gold Glove this year for the Diamondbacks, and
Wow.
I
Okay.
and I think and I think um sorry, I'm just pulling this up. I think Nolan Arenado hits over 25 home runs again this season.
Wow. Okay. That is a hot
That's a
take.
hot take. I think he's gonna turn back the
That's
clock a little bit.
I like it. I
34 years
really do.
old. I feel like he has one more good season left in him, and I think it'll happen this year.
Very interesting.
Turn back the clock a little bit, man. I need to see it. Back in the division he's very comfortable with. He's going to be playing in stadiums that he's very familiar with. Petco Park, Coors Field, Dodger Stadium, Chase Field, Oracle Park. I think with all that being said, Arenado wins the Gold Glove this year for the Diamondbacks, and he'll hit over 25 home runs.
I like that. I really do. Now, if that happens, my rankings might get fucked up.
Yeah, that's true. I think you're right on that.
So, because if that's the case, this Diamondbacks team could be a whole lot better than what I
Yeah.
expect.
Okay. Well, let's give our division standings and our MVPs and Cy Youngs.
I have
Five.
mine ready.
Okay, you want to go
If
first? Go for it.
we're, it doesn't matter.
Go for it.
It's your division.
If you're ready to go, go for it.
Okay. At number 5, I have the Colorado
The
Rockies.
Padres. Oh, okay.
Colorado Rockies at number 5, which I took the under. The Arizona Diamondbacks coming in at fourth place, and I took the.
Okay.
I have the Padres coming in at third with the under. I have the Giants in second and the Dodgers in first, which I took the over on the Giants, under on the Dodgers. The MVP of the division, it's clear cut. There's no other choice. It's Shohei Ohtani. The Cy Young. This is where it is so easy to pick any of the five aces in that fucking Dodgers staff. I don't want to do that because we all know what they can give. I want to give some love to Michael King. I think Michael King
Love it.
is going to be the Cy Young of this division because he is going to have to step up in a big way for this Padres rotation, and I think he's going to do that. Hell, he might even come out and have his best season of his career so far. I think this guy is. I think he truly does have what it takes to be an ace of a rotation. I saw it firsthand with the Yankees. He was a special talent. Um, yeah, I mean, I truly do think he is the ace of this Padres team, and I think, especially given what's going on with you Darvish right now, we don't know the future. I think he's going to have to step up in a big way, and I think he's going to deliver. So I have Otani is my MVP, and Michael King is my Cy Young.
So you're saying, just so I can just make this clear. So you're saying Michael King will be the best pitcher in the National League West this year?
Yes, I do.
Okay, just making sure.
listen,
Just making sure.
listen.
You never really, you kind of never, you kind of danced around it a little bit. You didn't. You put
Okay.
your toe in the pool. You didn't jump in. I just want to make
Hey,
sure you jumped in the water.
listen. I will go with saying it this way. Do I think he's the best pitcher in the division? No, I don't. I think Yamamoto's better. Um, I think Blake Snell is better. But when it comes down to it, I'm going to give the award to a guy who I feel is going to be extremely close in those numbers. I feel that he can go toe to toe with a Yamamoto or with a Blake Snell on any given rotation day. I do feel that way. And I also feel that he's going to be within, I don't know, let's say zero point 0.5 of an ERA between a Yamamoto or a Blake Snell. So just for reference, if Yamamoto pitches to a 2.5 ERA, I think Michael King's going to have a sub 3 ERA. I think he's going to be close, man. And to me, I'm going to give the edge to Michael King because he's a guy who doesn't have the kind of lineup that Yamamoto has or Blake Snell has. And to me, I feel that might mean a little bit more to this is strictly opinionated. This is all me. This has nothing to do with stats or anything else. This is all opinionated. So I'm not right or wrong. It's just how it is. How I feel. So that's why I'm giving it to Michael King because I feel that he has a lot more of a hill to climb than what Yamamoto or the other guys do in that Dodgers staff. Because if Yamamoto goes out and shits the bed, he has a lineup who can pick him right back up, just like that. No matter if he gives up 6 runs, 7 runs, whatever it is, you got boppers 1 through 9 in that lineup that can go and back you up and get you the win. Um, Michael King really doesn't have that. I mean, yes, he has a phenomenal lineup behind him, but I feel a whole lot more confident in the Dodgers lineup than I do the Padres. So
You
that's why I'm
better.
taking Michael. That's why I'm taking Michael King.
Okay, I
So
like it.
I hope that was enough of a explanation for you.
Still dance. You still danced around it, but well, no, it's okay. I'm just kidding.
Crazy,
Uh,
man.
uh, okay. My standings. Well, actually, first, just to add to the Nolan Arenado. Uh,
Mhm.
wait, he's playing for Puerto Rico, right?
I believe he is. Yeah,
He's gonna have a good tournament with Puerto Rico, which is gonna lead to the success with the Diamondbacks this year.
I like that.
Okay, so now my division standings: Rockies 5. God, this is so hard. I'm not. I don't want to put. I'm not, man. See, the weird thing, and again, people are gonna blow this out of proportion no matter what order we put this in. Just because
Yes,
we put like a certain team in four doesn't mean like they're gonna be in Rockies territory, only winning
absolutely
like 60 games. Like, I really think like 2 through 4 honestly can finish in any different fashion, and I honestly think they're only gonna be a couple games apart from each other. So,
agreed.
as I save my ass, giving myself more time. Um, Rockies 5. God.
So, see, the hard part about this, somebody has to take that fourth spot. That's
Right.
the problem.
Exactly.
Somebody has to take it, and I don't feel comfortable putting the Diamondbacks at four.
I don't feel
But
confident.
again,
I don't feel
like
comfortable putting the Padres there either. I don't think they're going to be that
that's what I'm
bad.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
I think we're going to have the same.
Okay.
D-backs 4, Padres 3, Giants 2, Dodgers 1.
Okay. It makes sense.
Do I double down with Kyle Tucker? Because I want Kyle Tucker to shut everybody up this year. I really do. I don't like all
Okay.
this negativity that has come just because he put on a Dodger uniform. Now he's lazy and now he doesn't want to do anything. And he doesn't care about baseball.
I think for me
I want to
personally,
be
the reason
different. Ooh,
I
okay,
I think
yeah, I think I'm going to do that.
okay, go ahead.
Kyle Tucker, MVP, Shohei, Cy Young. I'll do that.
Okay, so does that mean that Kyle
Oh
Tucker's going to
my
be better than
god.
Shohei Ohtani?
See?
I get it, man. Just busting your balls.
I know. I know. Yeah, I'm going to be a little bit different. It's too
Okay,
easy to pick Shohei. It really is. It's
that's what
too
I'm saying,
easy.
man. That's what I'd like, and also too, I like to try to keep this MVP and Cy Young a little bit separate. I don't like picking two players from the same team personally. That's just me. But when you're in a division like and with a team like the Dodgers, I feel like it's very hard not to. So that's why I had to make a case for Michael King. That's kind of just how that goes.
I
But
like it. No, I like it. I like it. It's good. I know there's going to be a lot of people. You didn't take Devers. You didn't take Machado. You didn't take Tatis. Oh, this is going to be, you're going to be a miserable 6 weeks then. But,
absolutely,
yeah, I'm sticking with that. Tucker, MVP, Shohei, Cy Young.
I like it, man. I like it.
All right, well, unless you got anything else, I think that's going to do it. There's your NL West division. We're off and rolling here.
I think that's it, man. Yeah. That's that's a wrap, man. And dude, like the best part about this is whether okay, all right.
Yeah,
Here we
come on. Stay with me,
The best
baby. Oh, don't leave me this year again. Don't leave. Don't leave.
the best part about this is we're closer to baseball. So
I could see it now, man. It's okay. Kyle Tucker's gonna have a great year, and he's gonna be in your hands again this year, baby. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So,
yeah, man.
all right, well, that's gonna do it for the NL West and episode 167.
Yep.
NL Central next week. Adios.